If you love books, chug your coffee. What am I doing with my life? Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having the best day of your life. Like you just opened your eyelids and everything around you is just dripping in gold. That's my wish for you. Anyway, today I'm going to be reacting to and roasting more international book covers. Because I'm a book cover lover. I love looking at book covers that give me hard eyes, and I love looking at book covers that make no sense. I'll list my playlist down below in the description if you've missed any of the past episodes. We're going over 4 books again today, and I'm excited to see what some of these international editions look like. A few of them were some of the recommendations that you guys left in the last video, so if you want to leave more recommendations for upcoming episodes, drop them down below in the comments. I'm excited to see what some of these international editions look like, so without further ado, let's get started. We're kicking it off with a book that I've never read, but I'm more than sure a lot of you guys have read this book, and that is Twilight. Hey! This is the US edition, the one most of us are familiar with, but before we had this cover, we had this cover. This one was created by Stephanie Meyer. No comment. First up here, we've got the German edition. The only thing I can think of when I look at this is that now I want to become a neck model. How nice would it be to just earn money off your neck? Take a picture of my neck, $5,000. I'll take it. How does one become a neck model? Can somebody be my agent? Please. Looking to change careers here. Please take a picture of my neck, throw it on a book cover, and give me money so I can provide more books for my bookshelves. My bookshelves are definitely lacking in books. This honestly looks like somebody took a picture of somebody's neck on TV and just put it on the book cover. It's got that kind of TV texture, the television texture. It's giving suck the blood out of my neck. It's giving sniff my neck. It's giving neck fetish. It's giving Vampire Weakness. Vampire Weakness should be the name of a band. Vampire Weekend needs to rebrand their name Stat. Next we've got the Czech edition of Twilight. Since when is Shrek in Twilight? This is news to me. Wait, can we get that? Can somebody make a parody of Twilight with Shrek? I'd watch that on repeat all day, every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Let's go. This is what I look like when I'm about to vomit. In fact, this is like a beautified version of the vom emoji. About to vom, but make it glam. About to vom, but make it Twilight. The thing that pulls me out of this cover is how photoshopped the eyes are. Like everything is dripped in this hazy green tone, and I think they forgot to filter the eye in the same way. Next we've got the Indonesian cover. There is a lot going on here. Why does this low-key look like fan art of Adam and Eve? I was about to say, imagine making fan art of the Bible, but then I realized there technically is fan art of the Bible. That's the vibe I'm catching though. Eve fan art. First off, why is Girly nude? Second off, what's going on with that hair and who signed off on it flowing into a heart? And thirdly, the red is giving blood, which I guess is a way to represent the vamps. Blood. Next we've got the Russian edition of Twilight. And all I can say is they did this cover model dirty. They made it look like she's got trees growing out of her head and a veil of thorns just dripping down her face. I'm sorry, but the wedding does not take place till breaking dawn. Let's not jump the gun here. Let's save this look for the wedding. And hopefully by the time of the wedding, you've changed your mind. Because what is this? I genuinely want to know what the cover model's reaction was to this cover, when they saw the final cover. Well, what were their thoughts? What thoughts ran through their mind? I need to know. I need the tea. Did she embrace it proudly? Does she hide the fact that she was on this cover? If I were her, I'd lead every conversation I had with someone with, I was on a Twilight cover, look what they did to me. Next, we've got the Thai edition of Twilight. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm sorry, but Twilight's young adult, right? To me, this is a little on the suggestive side. Tell me this was a misprint and this was supposed to be on a smut cover, because hello? Intimate, bed, looking nude, body to body. All I gotta say is yike. No S, just yike. Drop the S, it's yike. Next, we've got this UK edition. Jump scare. Bella, you look different here. What happened to you, sis? Are you good? Blink twice if you need help. If I could jump back a few seconds in time before I saw this cover and decide to never see this cover, I would. Someone get me a time machine stat. I'm pretty sure this Bella is going to show up in my dreams and murder me. I just want to know what the meetings were like surrounding this cover and who was the person to be like, yes, this is a fantastic cover. I just have a few questions for this person. Just a few. It won't take that long. Also, I'm sending you my therapy bill because this will be coming up. Next, we've got the Indonesian cover of Twilight, which just healed me from the last experience. This is beautiful. Does it really give me Twilight vibes? No, not really. I mean, it's got the apple. It's got nice scenery. I love the colors, but it doesn't make me think of Twilight when I see it. So maybe that's just because I have the US edition ingrained in my mind. I'm into this one a lot though, but that's also because it's kind of my style. I love this style of book cover. Next, we've got the Korean cover of Twilight. It's honestly both giving me elegant and serving me some anime vibes, which I'm always gonna be on board with. Anime art style gives me life. Edward with this hairstyle though, we stay winning. Could Robert Pattinson pull off that hairstyle? I don't know about that. When are we getting the debut of emo Robert Pattinson? That's what I need to know. Next, we've got the Turkey edition of Twilight. Dorothy, is that you? Toto, we are not not in Kansas anymore. We are in the land of blood-sucking vampires. I just can't look at this and not think of Wizard of Oz. Wrong franchise, people. Wrong franchise. And lastly for Twilight, we've got the French edition. This is beautiful. Why don't we have more Twilight book covers like this? It's like rich. It feels rich. It looks rich. It smells rich. I think my favorite out of these were the Korean, French, and Indonesian ones. Talk about some weird Twilight covers, man. Like, what is going on with all these strange covers? Some of them felt like they were made by Twilight haters. Next up, we were going over international editions for the Night Circus. I've always loved this cover. There's just something so chef's kiss about it. It's very classic, it's very beautiful, it's very simple, but very stunning. First up, we've got the Arabic edition of the Night Circus. This is actually giving me like circus promotion vibes, like it's making me want to go to the circus, except that I know that the circus has a track record for being bad animal abuse. I just like all the acrobatic stuff, so I could do like the Cirque du Lay and be a-okay. I like that it's straight away from like the typical black and white, because I feel like the circus is known for being like vibrant and bright and flashy, and I feel like the Night Circus books that we have are all black and white, which can be boring. I like the black and white personally. Like, I think it looks like sleek, looks very like fancy. I don't know what word I'm looking for. It just looks nice. But I also recognize the fact that it kind of like dulls down the idea of a circus. So this is kind of nice. It's just like bright, fun, bubbly. Yeah. Next we got this one, which is the cover for the BBC radio show edition of the Night Circus on Goodreads. And I had a little jump scare when this just popped up. I was like, oh, hello. Where'd they find this picture of me? I thought I had it erased from the internet, but I guess people found it. Publishers, I dare you to slap this on a book cover. But you're too scared to take a chance like that, and we all know it. Justice for the mime. Next we've got the Dutch edition, which this one is pretty nice. Not too mad at it. It's giving. I keep saying it's giving. It showcases mysterious vibes. I also keep saying vibes. I can't win. Anyway, the mysterious feeling is definitely something that the Night Circus kind of delivers, so I feel like it reflects that nicely. I do have a stupid critique, but it bothers me that the name of the author is stacked. Instead of it just being Aaron Morgenstern, it's Aaron Morgenstern. It's not like a make it or break it deal. It's fine. It just caught my eye and gave me the ick. And I think honestly this cover is what made me realize that's actually an ick that I have, is when they stack names. I think it's fine when they stack the titles, that's fine. But name stacking? No. We gotta go name. They gotta be next to each other. I have issues. Oh, I'm realizing how dumb this sounds. Next we have the English Vintage Classic Edition. I don't know if I can explain this very well, but there is something about this cover that is making me severely uncomfortable. And I think it's just the font that is used. Like, I cannot stand this font. I think it's gonna show up in my nightmares and choke me. Mind you, the font fits with the tone of this book. Like, it's giving wonky. The circus is wacky. The font here is wacky. So it suits the concept, and I love that for it. But it just makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I can't even explain it. This is my Comic Sans, I think. The more that I look at it, the more that my body like tightens up in distaste. I never knew that a font could affect me in this way. And yet here I am crumbling at the sight of this font. Help me, somebody. Send help. I can't even stand the font they use for Aaron Morgenstern either. It's ugly. I feel like this cover is supposed to feel like a classic too, and this does not feel like a classic to me in the slightest. Next we've got the English Vintage Edition, and this is what the last cover should have been. This is everything the last cover should have been and was not. This is everything to me. All the details on it, the movement of the different elements, the little squiggly wigglies, perfection. The only adjustment that I would say is get rid of the little bit on it that says Vintage Classics. Put it somewhere else so we know it's a part of the collection. It does not need to be on the cover. I hate it when editions say what edition they are on the cover. Put it on the title page. I don't want it on the cover. The cover should be a work of art, a masterpiece, beautifulness, and that just cheapens it. I don't care that you were the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious edition. Put it somewhere else. Title page is fine. Hide it and let us seek it. It can be a little game, please. And then Aaron Morgenstern's name needs to be centered. It's killing me that it's off center, but I get why it is, because obviously that girl's leg is over there. They didn't want to chop her leg off. Save the leg. Even though I'm annoying and have critiques, I still love this cover. It's a stunner. Drop dead gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. Next we've got the Indonesian cover. This one is really nice. It's Serving Red by Taylor Swift. If it doesn't have gold foiling in real life, then it's doing it wrong. Gonna need to send it back to the manufacturers and have them slap the gold on it. But for the most part, she's beauty, she's grace. Don't have many complaints. But I do have complaints. Mind you, I do. Because apparently I just can't accept things. I must critique every little thing, even if I like it. I can't believe this video is making me realize I have such an ache with like text alignments on covers and whatnot. But like, why is the in the Night Circus so small? I'm okay with stacked titles, like it could be The Night Circus, like just move the clouds up a bit. Move the above the night. How hard is that? It ain't that hard, people. Why haven't you hired me already? I'll fix all your problems. Next, we've got the Persian edition of the Night Circus, and it feels like an entirely different book. Like, I looked at this and I was like, that's the Night Circus? Are you sure? It feels straight out of the Tumblr era. And it also looks like it belongs on a YA contemporary, and you can't tell me otherwise. It's beautiful. I just don't think it works for the Night Circus, personally. Next, we've got the Russian edition. This one's really interesting, and I think I like it. Like, I like the movement of the text. I think that makes it really unique and stand out. And the illustrations on it are kind of giving that, like, vintage vibe. That very, like, vintage circus poster vibe, which I really love. There is something about it that's, like, a little off, but I like it. I think it's just because it's so vastly different from what I'm used to with the Night Circus. Next, we've got the Spanish edition of the Night Circus, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not this. What is going on here? I'm very confused. It low-key reminds me of that UK Twilight edition that's for sure going to be showing up in my nightmares. The perspective is bizarre. It's not really giving circus, like it's giving a princess locked up in a tower in a castle. Also, you know all that like AI art going around? Like that's what this reminds me of, which probably is an insult to the actual artist, so my apologies. I'm gonna zip my lip and stop right there. Next, we've got the Ukrainian edition. This one has elements on it that I like. Even though I like covers that are busy, I like them to be like cohesive and make sense and like organized. This one is just like all over the place, messy, and some of them are not even like the same art style, so it just does not mesh very well. It just feels like a bunch of clip art thrown together to try and make some kind of cohesive moment work, but it's not working. The math ain't mathing. Finally, for the Night Circus, we've got the Georgian edition. I like that this one stays consistent with the US edition, but they put their own spin on it. I really like it. It's like, let me copy your homework, but put it into my own words. We definitely had some interesting covers for the Night Circus. I liked the Georgian cover and then the English vintage edition the best, I think. Let me know your favorites down below in the comments. Next, we're going over covers for The Fault in Our Stars. This book cover has become so nostalgic for me. Like every time I catch a glimpse of it, it just brings me back to the 2010s. It is a time travel machine and it throws me back every time. First up here, we've got the Arabic edition of Tiffios, and honestly, this feels very Tumblr era. And I'm here for it. It's a very sign of the time cover, and this did come out during the Tumblr era. Hazel's haircut is very scene girl, which I feel like the scene style needs to make a comeback. I love the scene style. Did I participate? No. But I appreciated the people that took on that style because it's like art. I feel like this cover is kind of spoilery too. Like if you really look into it, it's kind of spoilery. Not in like an outright way, but if you catch on to it, let me know down below in the comments. Next, we've got the Chinese edition of The Fault in Our Stars. I actually really love this cover. I think for me, when it comes to covers, I either like a lot of elements in a very organized style, or I like very simple covers like this. There's no in between with me. I would like it more if things were centered, but I can overlook it. Next, we've got the Italian edition of Tiffios. Vastly different from all the other covers. I can't get my head out of like birthday party territory. It's the confetti in the hands, the star confetti. We've got a child throwing a temper tantrum, and she's gonna take her star confetti and drop it all over the floor for mommy and daddy to clean up. Now that's a new take on The Fault in Our Stars. You wanna know what The Fault in Our Stars is? It's all the star confetti on the floor that mommy and daddy are gonna have to pick up. Boom! Next, we've got the Japanese edition, The Fault in Our Stars, but make it anime. Again, I'm a sucker for anime covers. I really like the soft feeling that this one gives off though, even though this is a book that is full of heartache. It's still a book that has soft moments, and I feel like this kind of reflects it. I also like the fact that it kind of looks like a postcard. We've got some stampage on it. You can send it to all your friends and let them read it and have it break their heart. Yeah. Next, we've got the Portuguese edition of The Fault in Our Stars. This reminds me of the Dash and Lily's Book of Dares book cover. I'll put a side by side here. They look so similar to me. I think it's just like the font and the sky and kind of like the buildings or whatever. I know these are supposed to be stars, but it looks like snow or dandruff. Choose your poison. I like the fact that this one kind of highlights the Amsterdam trip because I feel like that was a very vital part in their relationship, and it was a place for them to kind of like grow together even more. Even though every time I think about The Fault in Our Stars, I forget all about Amsterdam and the storyline that takes place in Amsterdam. Like it just like poof, does not exist in my mind. Next, we've got a Spanish edition of The Fault in Our Stars. This is like a cuter version of the US version. I feel duped. We could have had this and we had this instead, even though I love the US edition as well. It's iconic, it's memorable, but this one is just doing something to my soul. This next one, we have the Swedish edition of The Fault in Our Stars. Hello? What in the Ed Hardy? I am confused by this cover on so many levels. What is going on here? Never ever in a million years would I look at this cover art and be like, yes, that reminds me of The Fault in Our Stars. Wow. I mean, sure, we've got different elements from the story for sure present on this cover. Like we've got the swing, we've got time, we've got death, we've got a grenade that represents this book exploding in our faces. Those were all the Fault in Our Stars editions. I'm still like reeling over that Swedish edition like Wow, I almost want a copy of it. I almost want a copy for my collection. I think I like the Japanese and Spanish editions the most for the Fault in Our Stars, but let me know your favorite down below in the comments. Lastly, we are going over covers for The Cruel Prince. This is the original cover for The Cruel Prince, but then we also have this Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that I feel like everybody knows The Cruel Prince for. I really like The Cruel Prince covers. They're not like my favorite per se, but I feel like they did a pretty good job with them. First up, we've got the Bulgarian edition of The Cruel Prince. I would assume this is the audiobook cover, but it's very pretty. I like the color scheme and I like that it's got a lot going on, but in a way that's not overwhelming, which is very important to me. I don't look at this and think that my head is going to explode because there's too much going on. It's tame, it's classy, it's elegant. We love. Next, we've got the Indonesian cover. Hello? The Indonesian covers today are on a whole nother level, like top tier. I don't think I've ever seen a cover for The Cruel Prince that is this stunning. Ever. It's next level. All the girls want to be her, but they'll never be her. She's the it girl. She's the moment. She's divine. She's a slice of heaven. She's the book cover to rule them all. I love the fact that it looks like a stained glass. The art style alone looks straight out of a fairy tale. Consider me madly in love with the book cover. Like, I would love to have this as an art print and hang it up somewhere in my house because it's beautiful. Next up, we've got the Russian edition of The Cruel Prince. I like this one a lot. I like this one quite a bit. I like the simplicity of it. It just does not compare to the Indonesian cover. I feel like I just will never be happy again by any cover ever because that Indonesian cover, stunning, too good. And here I am comparing this one to that one when this one can't even compare to that one, you know? I do like the fact that this cover is simple yet bold. It makes a statement. It says, I'm here, no need to fear, I'll make you cheer. Why do I always feel the need to rhyme? And the last cover that we have for The Cruel Prince, there weren't that many editions of The Cruel Prince that weren't similar to the US edition, is this Serbian edition. This one reminds me a lot of the US edition. It's just slightly different. Like, the art style is a little bit different, and then also like the elements that are brought in are quite different as well. Like the sword and the cracks, but overall, not the worst. Again, the Indonesian cover just has a chokehold on me now. So even my own editions of The Cruel Prince do not compare to that edition. And I have pretty editions. Like, this is my edition of The Cruel Prince. It's the Illumicrate edition. It's stunning. It's beautiful. And yet this does not compare to this. Those are all the book covers I'm going over today. Let me know down below in the comments which book cover was your favorite and which book cover were you most disturbed by. Honestly, I feel like some of the Twilight ones were interesting, and then there was that Tiffios one that just had me going, huh? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, and again, if you have ideas for covers that I should go over in the next few episodes, let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, yo! There's a plane, of course there's a plane. Every time I film, there's a plane in the sky, above me, flying by. I wish the airport was located somewhere else. Next, we're going over covers for the Night Circuit, and not the Night Circus. The Fault in Our Stars. Oops.